Hello, what is up the internet? It is me, your friendly neighborhood weeb here, and today, well, we're going over a mod pack that I created. This is called the SCP Lockdown Facility Recontainment mod pack. So I made this mod pack in mind with a map that I wanted to make based around the SCP Lockdown mod. There's quite a few in it. I'm not quite a few. There's roughly 40. I think it's maybe, to be exact, 45. But why is there a helicopter? Why is that helicopter so loud? Which one is this? What mod? Tech guns, of course. Let me just... Let me just... Get you out of the way for... Holy Jesus. Anyways, so there's quite a few mods, some of which are very important to just the general essence of what the mod pack is. Others are just for ease of life and, well, just because I like them. So the big important ones. Also, this mod pack does have a pre-installed map, or at least it should, if the files I uploaded work properly. But it has a pre-loaded world that is, it starts you in a facility that has, well, you have to break containment yourself, but it's supposed to be a containment has been breached, and you're trying to save the stuff from containment breach. You know, as you do. So the mod pack, the important ones, this is a, I'm assuming, let's see, what are you? Yeah. So tech guns is a big one because, you know, guns are fun. Matter overdrive is an important one because that's actually part of the story of that map. The SCP Lockdown mod, obviously. Applied energistics, because who doesn't like that? Extreme reactors and draconic evolution for power and other general use items. The thermal series or thermodynamics 2 custom NPCs, just because there is at the spawn point of the map there is an NPC that just kind of introduces the story of the map and leads you into it. Just don't say no. There's Thaumcraft, because magic is fun. There's also blood magic. And then one of the a few things I'm not going to go over. But another very important one, the Escape and Run Parasites mod, because it aesthetically fits very well within the just kind of horror aesthetic that this world that this mod pack is supposed to bring. Now, obviously, unfortunately, none of the SCPs in the mod spawn naturally. I don't know. Well, that's false. They do spawn naturally. It's just that they spawn in pre-generated structures called I think they're just I don't know if they have an official name, but they're pre-generated structures, and they're essentially different facilities where you can get certain resources required to make the documents, which actually spawn in pre-generated SCP containment chambers. Just as a little bit of a demonstration, the most popular the most popular SCP among them, and the original. Let's delete this, delete the door, and delete that door. So all of the SCPs in the mod pack are fully functional, aside from 914 and 1437 Hole to Another Place, because 914, well, it does work. You need to do some extra coding to it, and I don't know how to make that work myself. You have to code in like this with this option with this item, like say wooden pickaxe. You could put it on very fine, and if you code it right, I there is details, I think, on the wiki, or it's on the CurseForge page. I'm not 100%. I'd have to double check. But anyways, 914, it's an upgrade machine, so if you do all the things with it, it will allow you to do make it functional. I don't know how to do that, so I can't explain it in this video. But yeah, that's actually because he's not leaving the building for some reason. I want to see if 173 will attack a villager. Come on, 173. Ugh. Anyways, but actually, just because he seems not to be working well, or maybe he just doesn't recognize villagers as people. There is also within the SCP Lockdown mod, there is D-class personnel. I know at the very least 049 will interact with them. He doesn't create zombies out of them, unfortunately. I think he can only do that. It's either a chance or he can only do that with the player character. But yeah, you have D-class. Okay, so none of the SCPs interact with villagers. Good to know. But yeah, that's an important part of this mod, and well, because that's the basis of the build. A lot of these some of these mods have pre-generated structures, like I said, SCP, tech guns. I'm sure there's a few more. Thaumcraft brings in the taint, so that's going to be an issue to deal with within the world, but the taint is pretty slow, so it's not a big priority. Now, for the biggest issue that you will come across in the mod pack, not the SCPs. Well, the SCPs are really dangerous if they get out of their containment centers, but potato potato. This is an active threat across the entire overall world and will be devastating to you. Let's just leave it, say that. If I can find... There we go. So, the beginning stages of these, of the Escape and Run Parasites mod. This is the Buglin, the very beginning stage of the mod. Now, all of the parasites can just spawn naturally in the dark. So be wary of that. if a Buglin spawns, it will attack a player character if they're not in creative. And these parasites will try to infect anything that is alive. I don't know how it interacts with player characters because I haven't done testing for that yet. But it will infect villagers, zombies, pretty much everything. Enderman, it won't, but I am pretty sure that's because it's an ender mob. These infected mobs have their own custom sounds, and the infected mobs is actually a leadway into the later stages of this, you could say. So if I go ahead, spawn a Ruptor in there. Oh, spawn a few Ruptors in there. They will infect all of the zombies, villagers, and etc. in there. I don't think those zombies count for that because they're part of the tech guns, but they can infect most mob creatures. And these parasites go across entire worlds and generally will just cause issues. When they die, they have, I think, 7 things that they can do specifically. But I'm going to spawn in another big aspect of this, the beacon. The beacon is part of the mod that is going to be your biggest problem. They infect, you see that infested block? They infect the ground, the area around them, turning, eventually I believe there's going to be a biome specifically for these blocks create a biome. But the beacon is one of the things that can be summoned in when one of the infected mobs dies. But beacons will create this infestation, and then they'll also, yeah, see, like that. When that ding effect happens, it brings in another beacon. So it just keeps growing. The infestation will keep going. There's 3 stages currently of the beacon. Supposedly, when the biome comes out, there's going to be a stage 4, but that's not important right now. So these are what the different stages look like. Unfortunately, so SCP-173 doesn't take damage, by the way. So recontaining that is a whole issue in and of itself. But you see how it just keeps spreading the infestation. That's a stage 1 beacon when it's closed. Let's just grab, let's say, a creeper. Does it infect creepers? I don't think it... Let's just grab one of you. Put you near the beacon. Yeah, so that's what happens when... That's what it looks like when this one opens up. And this one... That's what that looks like when it opens up. So they all have open stages, you could say. Oh yeah, here's one of... So these are, I believe this is a primitive parasite. Let me check. Oh, I can't? Heavy carrier. Oh. So it's not one of the specific types. So there are a lot of different actual parasites. They have drops which allow you to make. Currently, there's only 2 weapons. There's the living great bow and the living scythe. There's 2 boss creatures that can occur in the game. The dreadnought, which is a flying creature, and this one is mostly developed. I don't think I think they said it wasn't entirely finished yet, but and then there is the Overlord, which currently will just walk at you and punch you. Doesn't have any special properties. But these are the boss creatures of this mod pack. And they are summoned in, I believe it's just when you kill a stage 3 beacon. It could be any stage, but want to see. Can I? Wait a sec. Broken telekill doesn't. Okay. But let me just spawn in another one of these over here. So I actually haven't seen how this mob has interacted with the tech guns. I know they'll do stuff with the zombies and such, but okay, so these won't fight back, it seems. Interesting. Oh, okay, so they will fight back. They just don't do much. Anyways, so that is mostly a demonstrate. I'm not going to go through all of the different, well, I should go through this at least. So there is a evolution system for some of the infected mobs. Or the parasite mobs. So infected mobs like zombies, villagers, cows, pigs, etc. Um, after there is 4 of these infected mobs in an area, I don't know if some things require kill. Some of the things in this mod require kills. Other things do not. So let's just do 4 infected cows. But I think the minimum is 4. So they might need to have a few cows. Might need to have a few kills. Sorry. I should have had a. Okay. But once they get those kills, they turn into these things, which will merge together and become a random primitive mob. So that is a primitive mob. They're just essentially they're parasites that are in the lowest stage. So the primitive mobs have an evolution system where if they kill enough mobs or humans, they will evolve. So let's say this is a primitive long arms. This is an adapted long arms. And after, I believe it's 150, 100, not 100% sure, but after a number of kills, it will evolve into the adapted form. Currently, there is only the primitive and adapted. There may be higher forms in the future, but uh, if I wasn't in creative mode, these infested blocks would spawn or would deal damage to me. Higher stages. Oh yeah, so the beacons also have that evolution. This one hasn't evolved yet, but I'm pretty sure it's close to evolving. I'm not sure the requirements to evolve a beacon, but it has stages. And when you stand, not in creative, in like survival or adventure, if you stand on this infected block, it will damage you. And once a beacon dies, all of the infected blocks will start to decay and turn into dirt. Just dirt. Not even the original state it was in, it will just turn into dirt. So that'll turn into dirt. That'll turn into dirt, I think. Let me double check. Infested block. Okay. There we go. Now we can at least see if it will spread to. Also, I forgot to mention an important part of this. The infested blocks will spawn more beacons. So the parasitic plague will just continue to spread across the world. So this mod, very fun, but it is a world killer, that's for sure. If you don't handle the mobs correctly, it will very easily take over an entire Minecraft world. Well, I think that's all. Yeah, I'm not going to show the facility. I think for right now, I'm going to just leave off this as a demonstration for the mod pack in general. If you would like to see the facility, just say something. I will make a video giving a tour of the facility if requested to. But this is the SCP facility or Lockdown Facility Recontainment mod pack. I hope you enjoyed this video, and please do consider downloading the mod pack. I will leave a link in the description, and this video will be put up on the CurseForge page. Have a good day. Be nice, people. I'll see ya in the next one. Bye-bye.